Hi everyone. I know it's been quite a while since I posted a video, but I am back and I have come up with an interesting topic for today, and I'll be talking about lactose intolerance. I'm sure quite a few of you might have heard about this, but for those of you who haven't, I'm going to describe it today. So, what is lactose? So, lactose is a food constituent. It is usually present in the milk and milk products. It can be present in cheese, yogurt, breads, and lot of other processed foods too. Okay, so once the lactose is ingested, what happens is in our small intestine, as you know, there is a small intestine and then there is a large intestine. So in the small intestine, we have an enzyme called as lactase, which acts on the lactose and divides it into the individual components which the lactose is made up of, which is glucose and galactose. And these glucose and galactose are then absorbed by our intestine into our blood. Okay. So what happens is this enzyme called lactase is present highest during our birth. But as we age, the amount of lactase in our body reduces, and in some people by the age of say about 20 to 40 years, some start showing a decline in lactase levels. So in such cases, what happens is that the lactose which is ingested will remain undigested or not split into the glucose and galactose. So it will remain as lactose itself in the intestine. So there are different types of lactose intolerance. There is something called congenital lactose intolerance, wherein the enzyme lactase will be absent at birth itself. And then there is primary lactose intolerance, which is the one that I described. That is with age, the amount of lactase in our body reduces. And then there is something called as secondary lactose intolerance, which is a temporary sort of lactose intolerance which humans face, especially during situations where there is damage of the intestinal lining or mucosa. So this happens, it can happen while you have some infections. So you would have heard doctors telling you to avoid milk and milk products during these times when you already have certain stomach infections. It can also be secondary to certain medications, especially during chemotherapy, wherein there is treatment of cancer, after radiation therapy. It can also occur as a part of diabetes. In people having irritable bowel syndrome, they also tend to have a little bit of lactose intolerance. In case of parasite infestation, that is certain worm infestation, you can present with lactose intolerance. So whenever there is a damage to the intestinal layer, the amount of lactase in your body can reduce, and this can be taken care of if the cause is taken care, as in if the infection is treated or if the worm infestation is taken care of, all these, or the particular medication is stopped for a while, this lactose intolerance can be treated in case of secondary lactose intolerance. So those are the different types of lactose intolerance. So now let me get into the symptoms of lactose intolerance. When can you suspect that you have or you do not have this? So after ingesting anything which contains lactose, you might present with certain symptoms, like you can have nausea, you can have a bloating sensation, you can have abdominal pain, you can have loose motions, you can have flatulence or very gassy feeling, a lot of gas. So these are the major symptoms that occurs during lactose intolerance. So the major mechanism behind these symptoms, there is a little bit of science behind it. I'll explain it in simple terms. Let's not get into too much details of it. So as I've described previously, I've told that because of the deficiency of the enzyme, there is lactose, unabsorbed lactose in the small intestine. So this is like an osmotic load in the intestine, that is, there is a concentration of lot of lactose inside the small intestine. So our body needs to maintain an equilibrium, right? So what our body does is it puts lot of fluid and electrolytes into the intestine so that the concentration can be reduced, so that we can reach an equilibrium. So this fluid and electrolytes is what comes as diarrhea. right, and there will also be an increase in the intestinal motion which transmits it, so that will result in the diarrhea. And once this lactose, unabsorbed lactose, reaches the large intestine, the large intestine has a lot of bacteria, colonic bacteria, which is normally present. So these bacteria will act on the lactose and produce what is called hydrogen. So that is the main reason for the gassy passage and the bloating sensation. So this is the small science behind the symptoms of lactose intolerance. Now, why am I talking about this? So this is important because people tend to have a decreased quality of life because of this, because they don't identify the cause. So if we know that we are intolerant to lactose containing foods, then we'll be careful to check the constituents of whatever we are eating prior to eating. So when we buy milk, or the whole milk, or say chocolate milk, is more tolerated when compared to skimmed milk in such people. You can even have soy related products. Soya milk is also better tolerated, so vegans will be happy. And even fermented products like that of cheese, yogurt are better tolerated in people with lactose intolerance. Even people with lactose intolerance, they tolerate milk to about 200 to 40 ml a day. So, avoidance of this in itself can treat the symptoms. So they will have a better quality of life. Besides, because they are consuming lesser amount of milk and milk products, the amount of calcium and thereby vitamin D levels in them can get low. So it is always better if you tend to have these kind of symptoms, it is better to get yourself checked of calcium and vitamin D levels, so that later on you don't want to have a reduction in bone calcium mass and thereby leading to a lesser amount of calcium in the body. So as in your bone strength will be low. So to avoid that, it's better to get your calcium and vitamin D levels checked. So treatment of it is first, as I've mentioned, avoidance of the products which cause symptoms. Second is you can have calcium and vitamin D supplementation if it is low, and certain probiotics like lactobacillus your doctors would give you, especially when you have loose motions. You would have noticed they give you probiotics, so that is also seen to be helpful. And also being careful, as in even if you're buying certain foods, breads or any kind of processed food, you can notice whether it is lactose containing or not, and thereby avoid such symptoms. So that is a short overview of lactose intolerance, and I think I've pretty much covered about it. So in case you have any doubts or you need some clarity on it, you can type on the comments below, and in case you want to have a one-on-one consultation with me regarding this or any other consultation per se, I am available at the particular website given below, so you can reach me there as well. I also have another announcement to make. So I am planning to hold an interview with a nutritionist, Ms. Ratika Vensurkar, and we'll be talking on antioxidants. So stay tuned everybody for that interview as well. So that would be it, I think, and I'm glad that I made a comeback. So I hope you guys found this video useful. Please give a like and do share this if you could resonate, or you could send it to somebody who found this useful. All right, bye guys. Thank you.